Isaiah chapter 2, the message that Isaiah, the son of Amoz, received concerning Judah and Jerusalem. In the days to come, the mountain of the Lord's house will stand firm as the highest of the mountains, towering above all the hills. All nations will stream to it. And many peoples will say, "Come, let's go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob. He will teach us his ways so that we may walk in his paths." For instruction will go out of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. He will settle disputes among the nations and provide arbitration for many peoples. They will turn their swords into plows and their spears into pruning knives. Nations will not take up the sword against nation, and they will never again train for war. O house of Jacob, come, let us walk in the light of the Lord. But you have abandoned your people, the house of Jacob, because they are full of influences from the east and of soothsayers like the Philistines. They are in league with foreigners. Their land is full of silver and gold, and there is no limit to their treasures. Their land is filled with horses, and there is no limit to their chariots. Their land is filled with idols. They bow down to the work of their hands, to what their own fingers have made. So mankind is brought low, and each person is humbled. Do not forgive them. Go into the rocks and hide in the dust from the terror of the Lord and from his majestic splendor. Human pride will be humbled, and the loftiness of men will be brought low. The Lord alone will be exalted on that day. For the Lord of Armies has a day against all that is proud and lofty, against all that is lifted up, it will be humbled. Against all the cedars of Lebanon, lofty and lifted up, against all the oaks of Bashan. Against all the high mountains, against all the lofty hills. Against every high tower, against every fortified wall. Against every ship of Tarshish, and against every splendid sea vessel. Human pride will be humbled, and the loftiness of men will be brought low. The Lord alone will be exalted on that day. The idols will completely vanish. People will go into caves in the rocks and holes in the ground, away from the terror of the Lord and from his majestic splendor, when he rises to terrify the earth. On that day people will throw their silver and gold idols, which they made to worship, into the caves where moles and bats live. They will go into the cracks of the rocks and the crevices in the cliffs, away from the terror of the Lord and from his majestic splendor, when he rises to terrify the earth. Stop trusting in humanity, whose breath is in its nostrils, for what is he really worth?